Hello, what's on my mind today is customizing the Aspen header and background by using repeating images. My main aim actually with customizing my header and background is getting rid of this white space on the right and left. I would like to see the search box taking the whole width and the header as well, or using some things that's going to fill that space. So first, I'm going to show you the options for the header and footer, and then I'll show you a different example for the background of the main body. But first, let's go into our administration settings. So usually when we're talking about customizing the appearance of the site, it's all under the theme and layout module. So I'm going to go into themes and into my current theme, which is the PTFS one here. So the first option is here at the top. It's called Make Header and Footer Full Width. So it's quite self-explanatory, but here's what it looks like. So as I said, certainly I don't have this white space here, and it's the same with the footer at the bottom. So I'm just going to show you in a different tab. So you can see the full effect with the book covers, but I do have my options here using the full width of my screen. Whatever size it is, actually you can change your browser size to test it. So that's the first option. Now the other thing I'd like to do is actually add an image in the background here behind the space where my logo is. So I'm using a logo, and then I've changed my header background to this color, but I would like to add something a bit more colorful with an illustration that's actually going to show across the width of the screen there. So again, back in my theme, I can scroll down to see the background image options, and here they are. So here's where I'm going to upload my image. So I'm just selecting it from my files and uploading it. And then I'm going to have to use both options, but I'm just going to leave them for now so you can see what it looks like. So my image, the one I've just uploaded, is actually quite big, and that's why I'm only seeing the top of it here. So I'm going to have to use some of the options to make it fit the space I have for my header. So that's just underneath where I uploaded it. You can see that's how big my image is. And instead of using the cover fit, I'm going to use the contain. So it's going to be contained within the header space. And here, so it's now right behind my logo. And I do want it going across my header color here. So to do that, it's that header background image repeat options. And I'm just going to simply select the repeat one here. And here I can see my image. So let's look at it on here to see it better. I can see my image across the whole width of the screen. Obviously, to be able to do that, you will need a logo that has a transparent background to have a better effect. Or actually, you could play with a logo that has a colored background, which means you would only see your image once it's past the side of your logo. And you would also need to be careful to the colors you use. So here, actually, my background image, the colors are a bit too bright, and it means in terms of accessibility, it's not great because it makes it harder to read the text on my logo. But as an example, it's quite clear what these new options do. So that's for the header and kind of search box area. As I said, I also want to show you some options to actually add a background image to the main body of the site. And to do that, I'm going to use a different theme. So let's go to primary configuration to switch themes. And I'm just going to go in the basic display and select my other theme. Okay. So here's what it looks like. Again, I can show you on here. And the first thing I need to do is make sure I do have an image uploaded to then use in the background. This is actually a trick more than a setting in Aspen. So rather than some options here to use, it's actually using some additional CSS in the themes, and it's all explained on the Aspen Help Center. So when you go under the Aspen Discovery Support module, you've got the link to the Aspen Help Center. And under admin, you'll find all the theme and layout explanations. So that's kind of all the standard settings. But then at the bottom, you've got sort of a list of little tricks you can use by pasting some additional CSS. So the one I'm showing you now is called Add Background Logo. And it does tell me that the first thing I need to do is to upload an image in the Web Builder Images setting. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll come back to copy the code here. So into the Web Builder, into my images. So I actually have uploaded my image earlier, it's here, but according to the explanations on the Help Center, I need to get the URL for this image. So if I click on it to edit it, I have this view image link, and then that's my URL at the top. So I'm just going to copy that and keep it for later. And then when I go into my theme, so I'm going to go back into my Graysdale theme. All the additional CSS, it goes into this box here. So I don't have any at the moment. So I'm going back to the instructions here and simply copying this bit of code. If you look at the bit of code, let's make the box a bit bigger. It starts with some notes, so add repeating background image, and then it does say insert your image URL here. So I'm going to get my image URL here. And save it. Okay, and now already you can see my image is in the background there, but let's look at it a bit better through this here. So my image is repeating in the background. So I'm just enlarging my screen to show you that it is really repeating. And obviously, depending on where my mountains are within the image I've uploaded, it shows slightly differently depending on the size of browser you're using. But it does allow me to kind of keep this theme across the whole site. So that's all I wanted to show you today.